I've been that guy. While you was at home doing this, I was in the club making moves.
Paul, if this is not going to be, curated into a little dance around exhibition, could find himself in a way of getting seriously hurt here, like Francis Ngannou did. Francis Ngannou was an MMA fighter that got blasted out by Anthony Joshua.
Anthony Joshua has finally broken his silence after Jake Paul's new training footage exploded across social media. Fans have been slowing down every punch, analyzing every combo, and arguing whether Paul is truly leveling up. Joshua's reaction has now added even more fuel to the fire. As a former unified heavyweight champion, AJ doesn't get impressed easily, but he's clearly paying attention. And with Paul looking sharper, faster, and more disciplined than ever, Joshua's response shows both respect for Paul's improvement and confidence that experience will decide everything when they finally step into the ring.
Should not get in the way of Fury and Joshua, really, in my view. It's an absolute joke. It shouldn't be sanctioned. I really don't believe it should be sanctioned. I have a sneaking suspicion that it would be a very big fight. But the biggest thing is us rubbernecking to actually see if they do get to the point where they step in the ring together. Because Jake Paul's an area level fighter, a British area level fighter, and Anthony Joshua is still a killer and a live heavyweight. That should not be sanctioned anywhere in the world, in my view.
It's dangerous, mate.
Very dangerous.
It brings the sport into disrepute. The people that are talking about organising that, they should have a real hard look at themselves.
But even Eddie Hearn's kind of teasing he doesn't like it, but you can see the glitz of dollars.
There's no price. There is no price.
There shouldn't be.
There's absolutely no price.
Agree with you.
Back when Jake Paul was still learning the basics, Joshua surprised many fans with a rare act of respect. In a 2025 interview, he said Paul was good for boxing, acknowledging that Paul brought new eyes and energy to the sport. At the time, most people laughed it off. But now, it's real. No more hypothetical debates. No more social media theories. Jake Paul comes in with a 12-1 record and 7 knockouts. Joshua brings a 28-4 resume and years of experience at heavyweight. The gap is real, and now the world wants to see if Paul can bridge it.
Joshua now. How do you think that's gonna go?
Man, Anthony Joshua, I don't know why I think Anthony Joshua would knock him out. No disrespect to Jake Paul, I think Anthony Joshua would knock him out. I'm saying within 2-3 rounds.
Yeah.
You saw what Anthony Joshua did to Francis Ngannou?
Yeah.
Come on, I ain't never seen Francis get knocked out.
Yeah, that's huge too.
Yeah,
they're both huge.
Yeah, he's huge. But you gotta hear the story. You gotta get Francis Ngannou in here and hear this story though.
I'd love to.
Bro, he was set up though, for real.
On that fight?
Yeah, I believe him. Because here's what they do, what sometimes when people don't understand. In boxing too, I don't know a whole lot about boxing. When you fight for promotion, they promote that fighter. So he's fighting in Saudi Arabia. So they was probably fighting at 3 a.m. and they had him in the locker room. It's
During their first face-off at the November 21st press conference, Joshua didn't sugarcoat anything. He called the fight massive, high-level, and strictly professional, then warned Jake with 2 cold words: no mercy. Paul, meanwhile, revealed he had been cutting weight for a different fight before jumping into this heavyweight showdown, making the transition even tougher. He expects to weigh between 215 and 225 pounds, far below Joshua's natural heavyweight size.
Negative. He's here to do his job. I could sit up here, as I said, and try and address all the things that Jake doesn't do good, but I'm fighting Jake that's going to do everything good on December 19th. So let me focus on that. He's a good person, does his thing, great team around him, puts in the work, and that's why he's sitting here now. Anyone out there in the world that works harder than the next person deserves to be a front runner, and he's a front runner in the boxing game right now.
Respect. Jake, can I ask, it feels to me from afar, you're in a bit of a lose-lose here, because it seems like a lot of people want to see you get obliterated, right? A lot of people want to see you get your comeuppance. And if you do pull off the upset, or if this fight goes the distance, again, the whispers will start to come. People will discredit you. People will say, this, that, and the other about the fight. How do you balance that, and how do you deal with that?
Man, I've already won at every single thing in life. I'm playing on house money. I've accomplished all my dreams, said everything I was gonna do, from becoming, the first influencer to become an actor on Disney, to becoming the biggest YouTuber in the world, to rising to the top of boxing and having the largest viewed fight in the history of the sport. I've accomplished everything, so this is a win-win and another challenge for myself. I've never been knocked down or knocked out even in sparring, but I'm in a sport where that happens. And I know this is dangerous, but this is no different than a soccer player, losing in the World Cup on the biggest stage. If that's how it goes, if I take one of those punches that Francis Ngannou took and I'm on the canvas, let's see how tough I am. Let's see if I can get back up. But I'm ready for that. I'm prepared for that mentally, and I know that he has to deal with me as well. This is not as one-sided fight as people think, and I have power. I have the ability to put people to sleep, and so that's why I took this challenge. And I know it's crazy and all of that, but I'm excited. I'm genuinely excited. My team's excited, and everyone believes in me, and that's all that matters.
How much do you expect to weigh on fight night?
Man, I was cutting down for Gervonta, so it's been a little tough getting back up in some strength for this, but anywhere 215 to 225, we'll see.
Okay, and I want to clear something up with you, AJ. I saw on the press release that it said that on weigh-in day, you can't weigh above 245, but post weigh-ins, you can weigh whatever you want. There's no rehydration clause or anything like that. Is that accurate?
Whatever it says, yeah, I think that's the case, but my focus, 111 kilograms is what I got to weigh in at, right? I do kilograms, not
But Paul insists size won't save Joshua. Jake Paul says this is the moment he proves everyone wrong. For years, critics said he only fought smaller opponents or aging names. Now, he's facing Anthony Joshua, former world champion and one of the most dangerous heavyweights of this era. Paul claims that beating Joshua would erase every doubt, every insult, and every accusation. The fight is a fully sanctioned heavyweight bout, 8 rounds, 3 minutes each, 10-ounce gloves. And Joshua must weigh in under 145 pounds. This isn't an exhibition. This isn't a YouTube event. This is a real professional fight, and a loss goes on both of their official records.
Fight a real boxer. They said, fight someone your size. They said, fight a world champion. We looked at a long list of supposed fighters for me to fight the world. Make no mistake, this is the biggest fight of my career. I'm walking into the lion's den. I'm doing something that no one else has ever done before. I, Joseph Paul, will knock out, defeat, and embarrass Anthony Joshua Friday, December 19th, live on Netflix. My voice cracked, I'm still going through puberty. The biggest fight of 2025, USA versus UK. He's got the belts, the size, the history, but I have the balls. Be careful what you wish for. Jake versus Joshua, Judgment Day. He has a 90% knockout ratio, but I have a...
Teddy Atlas has a more cautious view. He admits Jake Paul might be stepping far beyond his level, but he also doesn't shrug the fight off. Atlas points to Joshua's recent knockout loss and long stretch of inactivity, saying there may be ghosts in the attic. He still believes Joshua is the stronger, faster, more experienced puncher, but he's curious to see which version of Joshua will walk into the ring on fight night.
A step too far. Now, when I say it, I'm also... I try to be responsible. I've been in this game 50 years, so I know where not to step, where you could twist an ankle, or worse, you could break a leg or fall down. When I say that with the understanding, too, that Joshua's coming off being knocked out. Joshua hasn't fought for a year, right? But it's about a year. And there's some ghost in his attic. There are. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if he's gotten rid of some of them, but I know that in the position of a fighter coming where he's coming from, there are ghosts in your attic. I don't know if those ghosts are still taking up space. I don't know if maybe there could be no better exorcism for those ghosts than fighting a Jake Paul. That might be just the exorcism you need to clear out the attic. I don't know. That's the problem. We don't know. That's the mystery part of this. That's what makes it so... It makes it two things at once.
Across the sport are sounding the alarm. Jake Paul stepping into the ring with Anthony Joshua isn't just a big risk, it could be dangerous. Analysts like Ariel Helwani warn that Joshua's punching power is not theoretical. It's real, proven, and capable of ending fights brutally. They say Paul could be walking into a level of impact and intensity he has never experienced. For the first time in his boxing career, Jake Paul might truly be in harm's way.